Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Maryland Jockey Club at Laurel Park for a Friday edition of Today at the Races. I'm Dan Ullman along with Keith Fustel. Keith, really exciting action on Sunday. Not only just a sensational edition of the Stormy Blue Stakes coming right down to the wire, but the jumpers did their part. We had two jump races, the first two jump races at Laurel Park in 25 years. They put on a great show.
They did. I mean, it was really exciting races right down to the wire. And one of the races, the horse is kind of sitting there waiting, was able to work it out late, get up the final 16th of a mile. But all in all, everybody was jumping well on Sunday.
We had a lot of rain last night, thus we are off the turf today, but the main track is listed as fast. We are having a heat wave the next few days, so the best way to counter that is come on out tomorrow for Rosé at the rail. Nice glass of maybe Chardonnay, little Pinot Noir. Scan the QR code for details. Head on over to laurelpark.com for details, but come on out to the track. Enjoy a glass of wine, pick some winners, make some money.
If you don't like a glass of wine, go see the pizza lady. Get a bucket of cold ones, right? And enjoy it out on the rail. You got to like that. You're going to need something to chill off. It's going to get steamy here in this region.
As for the weather right now, it's actually very pleasant. We're expecting it to get up to about 85 degrees in the afternoon, but right now it's 77 degrees. Again, main track is fast. We're off the turf, and our first post time is 12:10 Eastern. Let's start things off with race number 1. This is a 5.5 furlong race off the turf. Scratch the 1, the 2, the 5, and the 10. It's a maiden special weight for Maryland bred and or sired runners, and it is also the first leg of the first of two value pick 5 wagers. What a great bet this is. Low takeout of 12%, minimum 50-cent wager. Keith, you got a ticket for us.
I got a ticket, but first I want to shout out to our team, specifically Rodman.
Oh, he was awesome.
William Humphrey. How about Rod Dog? Got a Brazil, get the 28-20 on top, the upset in the Stormy Blues, and then that late exacta, Toast to Coast over Karis. Play along, people. It's free. It's right there at the website, and it's just a slew of really good information.
He's getting the buckets today.
Yeah. Buckets Rodman. I like that. Just pass the torch. Here's your early pick 5 ticket for $16. 4-9, sure meant to be, is going to be a single. But I tell you what, Serendipity Monday ran really big prior to the layoff. See if he can bring back that kind of effort. Those two were very close in that last try. Let's see, 2-6 in race number 2, the Haunted Room at First Sight. Single in race 3, Concrete Face at an awfully short price here. Take out the 4, the 5, the 6, and the 8 in race number 3. Unfortunately, off the turf, 1 mile on the main track. Race 4 with the 5 and the 7, Bold Diversion. Augustine Red, I like, is a little bit of a value shot there for Ness. You don't get him much at 5-1. We're going to get something like that today in race 5. A little spread for me. 1-2-7-9 starter on the dirt. It stays at 1 mile. Scratch the 1A Bodie Cream, the 4B Determined, the 5 Kendama, the 6 Prince Kozan, the 8, 10, 11, 12, 13. But the value there might be Alvey. I mean, even it's shorter field, I'd give that horse a little shot. Ramping up in form for trainer Robin Graham. $16 early value pick 5 with a 12% takeout. Dan, can we beat Sure Meant to Be?
I'm not going to try to beat Sure Meant to Be, although Sure Meant to Be has been had as the favorite in his last 2 races. He ran very well, though, on turf last time out, and he ran very well on dirt, a race where he wasn't able to get as close to the lead as usual. I think he really prefers to be forward. He kind of got bounced around leaving the gate, wound up making a move on the turn, and he held up for second behind Blow By Him, who was in very good form at the time. I think with an alert break, he makes the front end here, and I think we have the 2 right horses. Serendipity Monday really showed improved speed in his most recent start, now comes off a little bit of a layoff.
And that's going to be the key. Can he sustain into this flow? He was sharp last time out, given a little bit of time off, but man, much improved in its most recent try behind the favorite today, Sure Meant to Be. Sure Meant to Be put the blinkers on last time, battled with a competitor early before shaking clear, just couldn't hold off. Nakanura horses come back to run big. It was a double key race off the turf May the 24th. Anybody like at a little bit of a price? We both got the 6 man to a man. Blinkers going on.
Not only blinkers going on, but this horse had to have needed his most recent start. He hadn't run in a a year and a half. They run them on the turf. Here's Sure Meant to Be, a video spotlight for the most recent race on the turf. And as you see, this horse is just showing good early speed in this race, and he's going to get nailed on the wire by Nakanara, who came back to win. A race like this on the dirt is probably good enough to beat this field. Getting back to Mantua Man's second start off of a lengthy layoff with the blinkers on, I think you can argue this horse is a little bit dirtied up. Turf off the layoff, dirt route before the layoff, couple of wet track tries, and then the career debut where he actually showed a little bit of speed against better horses.
Those horses were quick, one-way traffic, and we've seen El Divino Nino. He's kind of hung around and put up some really big numbers at that 5.5 distance on the main track. But that was an encouraging debut into that flow before fading. Now Lasix, now blinkers, a little bit of a different horse is Mantua Man.
4967 for Keith, 4963 for me in the opener on Friday at Laurel Park. Race number 2, the second half of the early daily double. This race is at 1 mile, a one-turn mile here at Laurel Park. It's for fillies and mares 3 and up, which have not won a race since December 20th or which have never won 4 races. The claiming price is $5,000. Take out the 1 mainstream sellout, take out the 3 Loving Cup. This is the first of 3 50-cent pick 4 wagers on the afternoon. We offer early, middle, and late. A couple of scratches in here, Keith. You're going to go with the number 2, the Haunted Room. I thought this horse ran really well last time.
It was back and forth, back and forth. I think the world might go through At First Sight, who I originally had on top, but the more I dug, Haunted Room, she just really looked good. She caught my eye on the racetrack last time. I kind of did a little bit of an audible. I went to the window. I said, you know what, it's 16-1. Let's go ahead and key this one. Almost got it done, ranged up, and just was right there near the lead, leaving the 8th pole. A good effort. Gets an okay field. Freccia d'Argento ran huge that day with that re-rally. But I think the Haunted Room can stay close enough at the mile distance and kind of wear down these speed types. Because I think At First Sight will have a little problem, maybe, with Major Houlihan. I think Major Houlihan's going to get back to the main track, show more speed. These two could get tangled up a little bit. I'm looking for the Haunted Room to have that best finish through that final 1/8 of a mile.
I landed on Major Houlihan here after the scratches, going turf to dirt. The last time this horse won a race, this horse went turf to dirt, going a mile, albeit around 2 turns at Penn National, but did get the job done that day. I thought this horse ran well on dirt 2 starts back. No match for the winner, Fainer's Fillets, but it was a race where Fainer's Fillets came back, placed in her next 2 starts with buyers of 63 and 66. I think Major Houlihan, second off this short layoff, as you said, can stay close to the pace. The mile's no problem.
And the one key, she gets to a condition today. That's critical for these horses. Ups their chances out of the starter, and then the open 75 prior to that. Yeah, Major Houlihan. At First Sight, had some trouble going 3/4 of a mile on the turn back last time. Got beat at 4-5. I'll give it a little excuse. I thought she ran really good 3 races back. Now, granted, that was a muddy sealed surface. Went into a pretty honest flow before fading just ever so slightly late. Against this group, she's going to be right there from the get-go. I do think she hangs around for a long, long time, if not all the way. But might get a little bit more value on this Fredanis horse.
Can we make a case for the 5 Divine Exchange, considering it's her second start of a very long layoff, and Claudio saw enough off the layoff to claim this veteran mare for $7,500 last time out. Now, she got wired that day by Coal Mine. I didn't think she ran particularly well, but maybe off this class drop with the last race under her girth, she can improve.
Yeah, she's got some really good races on the page, and when she's right, she's forward. She's going to be tracking. Yeah, she's got to step it up off that one. But Claudia, we've seen this movie before.
2, 6, 5, and 4 for Keith, 4, 2, 5, and 6 for me in race number 2. Race number 3 is off the turf. We are going a 1-turn mile now. It is a state-sired allowance race for fillies and mares 3-year-olds and up. Take out the 4, the 5, the 6, and the 7, and this is the first leg of our middle 50-cent pick 4 wager. The prices have been good recently. Get involved. With all of these scratches, you have to think that the number 7 Concrete Phase is just going to be way the horse to beat and probably the horse to catch.
Well, it took her a race or 2, but she kind of really got into form for Ness off the claim. And you see the last 2 were off the turf races, and I'm kind of wondering. We've got some of these trainers. They're pretty good weathermen too. They kind of project. They look ahead. I gotta think, they were wondering, hey, look, can we get this race off the turf. Got it again today. Looking at the field, I like your price horse. I've got this horse underneath because Concrete Phase will be close. But I think Meg might be a little bit faster earlier, transitioning back to the main track, stretching out. Tim Keefe has done well. Now, granted, last time was sprint to route turf. Sprint to route dirt, he's been pretty good. I like a little bit of improvement. She held okay, but I think Concrete Face might just be able to kind of dog her enough and get by late.
Yeah, Meg looked good on dirt last time she ran on the surface. You remember she was in against the boys for the second straight race, and she showed good early speed. She got a really nice ride from Forest that day because they didn't go very fast up front, and she was able to sprint on home. They tried her on turf in a couple of races. I'm not convinced that's her surface. Getting back to dirt at the one-turn mile, I'd like Sheldon to get aggressive, but again, Meg is going to have to improve to beat Concrete Phase in here.
Yeah, the most legitimate closer. I mean, granted, it's a shorter field. Could it be Navani?
Yeah.
Another one, turf to dirt, and races back on her page certainly worked for me. Karamanos gets them out for Ferris. She just doesn't have a ton of speed. It takes her a little bit. Takes her a little while to get going. She's going to have to save every ounce of ground before she works out possibly for the stretch. But if things do get kind of a little bit heated up front between Meg and Concrete Phase, wouldn't be a surprise. Navani's got races on her page. It certainly could beat this field.
She's raced in off-turf heats twice in her career. She's won both of those races going turf to dirt, and in those races, she showed surprising tactical speed. So maybe in these shorter fields, she can stay closer. Maybe Navani with a little bit of a late kick. Remember, the long stretch of the mile run. But Concrete Phase is going to be tough. 7, 1, 2, 3 for Keith. We'll see if Meg can do it. Getting back to the main track, 1, 2, 7, 3 for me in race number 3. We'll move on to race number 4. Let's take a peek at this field. This is a nice 6-furlong race. $30,000 is the purse. It's a field of 7. It's a starter optional claiming race for 3-year-olds and up. And as you see, this is a race that kicks off our Chesapeake Pick 6 wager. Our carryover is $9,403. That's our estimated carryover for the Chesapeake Pick 6. We also have a Jackpot Super High 5 we'll talk about a little bit later. The estimated wagering pool will be $28,000. Race number 4, you're going to go with the 7 Augustine Red. I think this is kind of a horse that maybe I missed. Talk me on to her.
I'm just trying to sniff out a little bit of value. We've got an opportunity with a nest runner that goes third off the, I shouldn't say third off the claim, but third off of a layoff.
Right.
Off that 60 to 180 day layoff. He's done well with these 32% with the dirt sprinters, this type of move. I thought last time out, do we have the video spotlight of this one? I don't think I ran that one. But this horse, okay, my bad. This horse was sitting in a good position, got in trouble in mid-stretch, had to take up, still kept on with effort to the wire. In that field, that second place finisher got DQ. This horse was in very, very good form, been in good form at Parks, in 82 if you on the go back a couple months ago. I think this field is beatable. I think Augustine Red can get it done. You got some serious speed down inside with God with us. I think Schrader, when he's right, is going to be up duking it out. I think Augustine Red with a little bit of a drop down around the turn brings finish and back numbers. I love these nest horses when they get into the barn and they look. You look back and he gets them back to those back numbers more times than not. I think the setup is there for the 7 Augustine Red.
I'm going to go with your second pick in here, the number 5, Bold Diversion. Okay. You mentioned that there's a chance that this pace could be solid to fast, and I think that'll work for Bold Division. Certainly work better than last time, where this horse just got wired by an odds-on horse, New King, who has shown some stakes talent. Bold Diversion was in between horses, on hold a little bit on the turn. I think we had the
that's our video.
Spotlight for
yeah,
Bold
this
Diversion.
is the one that we got.
Watch in between horses here, Bold Diversion. Got to wait a little bit. Does get the seam and is just second best.
Oh yeah, just kind of waiting. It's a tricky little spot, tough predicament going into the turn. We see it a lot. And all in all, I thought Cruz did an okay job. Didn't have to steady too hard, and then finds more. You're right, New King able to get it done up front. This horse shows a lot of heart working back in between horses the last eighth of a mile. Good game second, a couple lengths clear. Rapidity, who had that kind of inside move just to flatten out. But Bold Diversion going quite well now for Shank.
Just had too much to do. Trying to rally into a 47 and 1/2 mile clock against that kind of horse is just not going to work, but it certainly was a good effort. The Schenkel barn sent out Ginger Girl to win at 7-2 last week, so they're going well. Let's talk a little bit about the 3 Schrader. This is a horse that, when he's on, he was capable of running some huge races like that effort 2 starts back, and last time out, Schrader really had to work for the lead.
They were going quick, 22 and 146, right in the mix, and was able to kind of poke ahead in front, just couldn't quite seal the deal. Zero Blitz, another horse in very, very good form, got the better of him. But that was a wow race 2 races back, and was really good last time out. All he needs to do is hold form. I think he's going to go ahead and try to battle with God with us. To me, it looks like the Rail horse has kind of got to go. I don't know if he can make a move from that far back.
Pretty quick fractions for God with us, the number 1 last time out at Monmouth Park, battling on the lead. Opening quarter 22.11, no respite. Second quarter 22.63, just missed at the wire, easily second best. This is a lightly raced 3-year-old. I think he has a lot of upside potential, but he's also under the gun from the Rail. And if Schrader and even Metagucha, horse that's shown some speed in the past, is on top of him, he's really going to have him nailed on tight. But that last race, from a buyer's speed figure standpoint, at least, was a marked improvement.
Oh, that was a big effort. And Monmouth, I can't remember that. You see those fast internals, the run up. I've got to double check that 6 furlong.
I think you're right.
Maybe a little bit further, but yes, a good break, imperative for God with us. Escape any kind of trouble in that opening quarter of a mile, and he's a player in here. I think Rapitti, I'll give him another little shot from just off of it, but the value's there with this 7.
And I think a trip's coming, a nice tracking trip outside, clear of traffic. I like where Keith's going. The 7, Augustin Red, 7-5-3-4. I'll go 5-1, 3, and 6. We're going to take a break. 4 down, 5 to go. When we return, it's time for the late value pick 5 with a low 12% takeout. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Today at the Races. I'm Dan, he's Keith. It's Friday. We've already handicapped 4 races, and it's time for race number 5. This race is off the turf. It'll be at a 1-turn mile for 3 and up, which started for a claiming price 12.5 or less in their last 3 races, or the claiming price 20 down to 16. Take out the 1A, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13. They're all out in here. But it is the kickoff leg of our value pick 5, 12% low takeout, one of the best bets in the industry. Our friend and colleague, Callie Francois, has a ticket for us.
Okay, $27. Very manageable ticket for Callie Francois. She's going to get you started in race number 5 with the 1, 7, and 9. Bodie's Maker there stays in as part of the Nest entry. Scratch the 1A Bodie Cream. Race 6, 2 deep with the 4 and the 7. That's Twice Gold and TikTok Daddy. Good number, a couple races back for TikTok Daddy. I think getting back to the main track might be the key for that one. Race 7 with the 1 Big Tank Nest. Interesting here, you've got a shorter field. Plenty of question marks. It's going to be interesting to see what this firster brings from the Nest Barn, from the Rail. Another firster I'm very interested in, the 5, Bright Shining Light. For Evelyn Kelsup and Hillwood Stable. That could be any kind as well. Like the breeding on that 5. She's going to single the 1 Big Tank Nest in race 7. Race 8 with the 4, 6, and 7. Carbellian Quest, Coringa, Roland Jesse. Roland Jesse likes to kind of make that move from the back of the pack. Going to try to make it 3 in a row. Wrap things up with the race 9, 2, 5, and 8. All Fruits Right, Musgrave, and the firster, Colonel Tully for Salzman Jr. It's a $27 late pick 5, the late value pick 5. Again, 12% takeout. Please get involved.
Let's take a look at your top selection in here. We're both like the 9 Bill of Rights, and this horse really is going to appreciate getting to the main track. Heck, he was entered main track only, and he ran well last time out, going a 1-turn mile. I thought that track might have been favoring speed a little bit, and Bill of Rights was churning along at the end. He kind of let the speed go. I liked that Angel was very, very patient, waited for the long stretch before producing Bill of Rights, and Bill of Rights finished okay. Group Ticket came back to win, and I just think at this class level. In an off-turf race, Bill White's will get the right trip.
I think, yeah, moving from that inside post
Yes.
at the 1-turn mile, a little bit more comfortable, I think, go of it from out here, and is going to be able to line up and maybe just go ahead and track the 7,
yeah, absolutely.
5-5-6 champ.
I think 5-5-6 Champ, another main track only horse, is going to be the best speed in here. And this horse is a hard hitter when you leave him alone. He's an 11-time winner. Distance is no problem for this horse. So he's kind of an interesting stretch out speed where maybe he can try to sneak away from the field and last under the wire for Mike Giralles, who wins at a good rate with these horses.
You get it. You go back on the page. Deeper in those PP lines for 5-5-6 champ. You're right, 11 for 35. These guys are really good races at a route of ground. Second time in this barn, a very capable barn. If that flow was relaxed into the turn and Bill of Rights doesn't go a little early, this guy's going to stretch it a long way.
I'm really curious to see what we get from Fighter Town, another main track only horse. They tried turf with him last time out. Just draw a line through that race. I have a feeling that was only an experiment. He was taking on good company at Oaklawn, especially that race at Churchill Downs, the end of 2024, where he battled for the lead and he hung in there for third. He's shown speed. The stamina hasn't been there recently, but I like that the blinkers are coming on, and he's another horse that can be close to the pace.
Yeah, he's another. How is he going to be ridden through that opening, say, quarter of a mile, 5, 6? I'm not sure. He has the ability to sit just off of it.
I think that's the plan.
Yeah, he makes that move into 5-5-6 champion. I think the beneficiary is going to be Bill of Rights, just kind of still sitting there and waiting because he can. I think he can wait a little bit longer. Even like Albie, though. Here's another horse. If you're going to look for that price, the bigger number here in race 5, I think he's the horse. Third time now for Robin Graham. Back, he's run some good races over Laurel. He can get the mile. No issues there. I like the effort last time. Belated comment in that track. He thought that held a little bit of speed against the grain a little bit with that run. I think he's a player in here. And like I say, in middle of the card, you're down a little bit. Let's go ahead and try to take that value shot with a 2 Albie.
No, Albie is interesting, especially if the 3 and the 7 hook up at sort of the middle part of the race, entering the turn. Albie's going to be pretty far back, but he does have the long stretch working in his favor, and I think he can come with a run at a decent price. Okay. But we're hoping that Bill of Rights, who gets into the race, this is what he wants to do. He'll get it done. 9-7-2-1 for Keith, 9-3-2-1 for me. Let's move on to race number 6. 5.5 furlongs. This is an off-the-turf race. 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 2. Claiming price is 16 down to 12.5. Take out the 5, the 6, the 9, the 12, the 13, the 14, the 15. Guess what? The 16 Maximus Speed draws into the race, and I believe J-Rod has the mount. It is the first leg of the Jackpot Super High 5.
Jackpot Super High 5 still stays intact with an estimated pool. 28,000. Got to like that carryover. Not the easiest of races. I was back and forth, but you know what? The blinkers went back on last time for Night Preacher. Just got a little weary that last 16th of a mile on turf back to the main track. I like kind of who he's knocked heads against. I think he can clear off and gets the chance to last today.
Yeah, no, Night Preacher's speed really seems to serve him well. He was very aggressively ridden last time out on the turf, but he's also shown the ability to sit and rate. I think dirt is his surface. He's a very live player in here. I'm kind of a little interested in the 7 Tick-Tock Daddy. This is a horse going second off of a long layoff. Ran pretty well on the turf against a pretty sharp horse, Upside Down Man. But when he does step on the dirt, or at least recently, his race 2 starts back was pretty good as well. I know he hung, and I agree with you guys on that one. I think maybe he hung a little bit in that race, but he was in between horses late. I thought that was a good field, and if he runs that 73 buyer, he's going to be real tough.
It could be over. You're right. And if any, there is a couple other horses that want to be forward. Sir Chance-a-Lot, Box of Rockets, we've seen with some speed in the past, but I was a little bit mad at him a couple races back. I had him that day big, and he just loomed large, 4 wide turning pro. Maybe a little bit of a covered up triple, kind of get him to fire home and sustain it.
Twice Gold has entered main track only. He'll play today. He is our 3rd selection. This one doesn't have a ton of early speed. He's going to hope for some help. He usually comes with a good kick. The problem is he doesn't win very often. There are a lot of minor awards, especially 3rd place finishes on his page.
He's a horse, you just got to stay after him from the 3/8, homie. He just hasn't brought enough of a kick for me to go ahead and put him on top. Will be used underneath.
Same exact, a different order for us. Keith's going 8-7-4-1. I'm going 7-8 4, and 10. Let's take a peek at race number 7, kicking off our final pick 3 wager of the afternoon. Race number 7, looking good on paper here.
Yeah.
It is a 6-furlong maiden special weight for Maryland-bred or sired maidens. We've got a field of 6 in here with a couple of interesting runners. Keith, where are you going?
I think the value may lie in the 5. I'm not thoroughly enthralled with the horses that have run. I mean, Falcon Blue, I've kind of chased a couple times around here. Tell them I'm coming, same thing. Some good breeding on the 1 and the 5, specifically this 5 by More Than Ready here for Hillwood Stable. Out of the mare, Shimmering Aspen, really, really good. Multiple stakes winner, I think 1 second time out. Second dam, Aspen Glow. Saw her enough winner around here. She won a ton of races, I think 14-time winner for Gary Cap. I just think it's all there and lining up with a really sharp work leading into this. I know, Lamar kind of getting rocking here, taking over for Rodney, but I think Bright Shining Light could be any kind, along with the 1, Big Tank Nest. I just slight edge, maybe due to the post position.
Maybe due to the post position and certainly due to the price. You know that the Ness and Rodriguez combination usually attracts some money, but that's a really interesting workout that you mentioned. June 12th, Bullet, 4 furlongs, 47 and change for Bright Shining Light. You got to think maybe this one's going to show a little bit of speed. Here's another turf to dirt route to sprint angle on the 2. That is Falcon Blue. Do we have a video spotlight on Falcon Blue, Keith? I'm not sure.
No, we don't.
No, we don't. But 2 starts back, this horse ran pretty well. Saved ground in mid-pack, cut the corner, gradually worked the way outside, and got up for 3rd. Tim Keefe, I think, sent out Hot Boss last week to win at a pretty good price.
Good number. And Blow By 'em came back out of that race to run a good buyer speed figure of a 68. So that right now, the horses that have run would defeat this field. But Falcon Blue, I thought, ran pretty good 2 races back. Just needed a little bit more. Let's talk about the 1, Big Tagnus. You don't have this horse in the mix, but he's by Uncle Lino. He's one of my favorite stallions around here. 19% strike rate right now with the 3-year-old and up first-time starters. Navisgal was pretty good, 4 for 16, topped it in 87. Ness in these maiden special weight categories. You don't really see that a lot, but this is a protect move for the homebred. I think he's going to be okay.
No, he should be okay, and I won't be surprised if he shows speed. Quick half-mile work on June the 8th here at Laurel Park. Tell him Cummins had chances, hasn't he?
No.
He's 0 for 21 lifetime, and I just guess the lack of speed works against a horse like this. And if you think he doesn't have much speed going a mile and a 16th, how much speed can he possibly show going 3/4 of a mile here? Last time out, he did make up a little bit of late ground in an off-turf race. I think he's in sneaky good form here. To 65 buyer, 3 starts back, which would make him interesting. But with his running style, isn't he always just behind the 8 ball?
Well, the key is that we don't know what kind of speed we're going to see from the 1 and the 5, and the other ones that have run haven't shown much speed. He could be a lot closer than he normally has been. Going back and reading our notes and the trips that William Humphrey puts out for our website, Decorum he was talking about a lot. It's a horse at a value that he thinks you're going to get today at a 10-1 morning line for trainer Andrew Ali. He was a little bit encouraged from the first start. Had a lot of trouble, bumped and pinched around at the break. A little bit of light life behind Cadeau d'Argent. We don't need you to tell about that one. He's now perfect 2 for 2 for Niall Seville. Very impressive young horse is Cadeau d'Argent. So giving Decorum another shot.
Certainly deserves another shot. Just a little bit overmatched against Cadeau d'Argent. Privman came back, earned something like an 80-plus buyer at Churchill Downs. Furmantown came back to win, and Decorum is getting Lasix for the first time. I've just found the right field in here. William Humphrey does a great job for us. LaurelPark.com/picks every racing day for our free handicapping guide. Race number 8 is the first leg of our late daily double. We're going a mile and an eighth. Take out the 2, the 5, the 8, and the 9. It is a state-sired allowance race. Keith, I think the key to this race is how far does Coringa want to go? That's my top selection in here. We know this horse has good speed, if not tactical speed. Last time out, I thought ran really well on the turf, went to the front, tried to sprint clear, and was run over late by a horse who was very, very good. The question is, how far does Coringa want to go? Here's Coringa's most recent start. Sits second, is eventually going to spurt to the front, and is sprinting on home and running really well. But this horse that beats him, Mission North, is a good one.
Yeah, he's a good horse for Jack Fisher. That was Forrest Boyce, right? And he's 5 clear of that away. I'm surprised that away. I thought he might stay in this race because he's got some all right races on the go back. So We talk about Karinga. The blinkers came off. You're going 4-5, starts back on the page, and he's learned to relax, and he's finishing his races. The effort here is good. He's still running. He's not really giving up at all. He just hooked a better horse in Mission North, and he got kind of, he went into that third quarter. It was pretty strong. So Karinga's there. And with the scratch of that away, Dan, I just seen Carvelli and Quest and Karinga, if they don't go too hell-bent early, they can stay. They've got enough positional speed and stamina. Even at this mile and an eighth, I think they stay the trip. I see this as a little bit of a match race from the quarter pole home.
And Caravelli and Quest really stepped forward last time out at this level and stretching out to the one-turn mile because he was battling for the lead 3 paths wide, put away those other 2 horses, and then it took a really sharp favorite, Derbiness, to run him down late. That was a really encouraging performance. I've been waiting for that for Caravelli and Quest. I've been a fan of his, and maybe he's just found the right level at these stateside allowances. And I like that Horacio De Paz taking a shot, stretching him back out.
I agree. I think this race kind of falls into his lap from a pace standpoint. He and Karinga should really like the flow. Just if they don't get too involved early, they go. Roland Chessie's been a kind of a the 2-back try, got a little help off duels, 7 wide run over this racetrack on a muddy sealed surface going 1 turn, but was able to get it done at Delaware at the 2 turns, now 2 in a row. Kings River, he's a staying type. I expected a little bit more kick from him, but coming back to the main track, he's been proven over the surface.
I really wonder, yes, he is proven over the surface. I wonder if maybe he's slightly better on the turf, but I think your point's very well made. A mile and an eighth is no problem for him, although he did get a very fast pace to attack in that race. Everything worked out for him. But Kings River's going to be running at the end of this race, and if the leaders are on fumes, and there's a chance our top 2 horses won't stay, Kings River will. Mr. Jefferson's a hard hitter. Lacey entered this horse main track only. She was right. Maybe this horse is just slowly racing himself back into his best shape. 3rd start of the form cycle. Last time out, just group ticket, little too good.
Number 2 back, it's strong.
Certainly.
Yeah, I'm probably sleeping a little bit on Mr. Jefferson. I've got him there. He can kind of slide into the position. He's got maybe a little bit more positional speed than a Kings River and the other closer in here, Roland Chessie. So, yeah, he's the kind of might just make that move, leaving the 3/8 and be lurking at the quarter pole to bring that finish. But really nice effort for that Gaudet runner of Pimlico 2 races back.
4-6-10-7 for Keith, 6-4-3-7 for me. Let's head to the finale, 5.5 furlongs. This is a maiden claiming race, 10 down to 8. Maryland breds eligible for the 12-5. I think we both like the 8 Colonel Tully a little bit in here, a first-time starter for John Salzman. And this sire, Army Mule, really does well with older debut runners.
26% with 3-year-olds and up with the first-time starters. Doesn't need to be a whole lot, but you're wondering the big, glaring, shining star at $40,000 purchase. Now we're going to go in for 12.5 right off the bat. The works have been there. Something's there. That's why he's in for 12.5. All or nothing, trying to get it done right out of the box and get a win. I thought Musgrave ran well last time out against the bias. Held quite well past the 8th pole. A little bit of a fade. Nice improvement off the break in first time Lasix. Go second time Lasix today. I'm going to key around these 2, I think.
Yeah, the 8 and the 5 look very, very strong. You might want to give a little bit of a look to the 3 fiery debut for Betty McHugh. Tried turf first time out. All right, it didn't work out. Now we're going to try the main track. Again, we don't think that this might be the greatest field of all time. I don't think the Dubai World Cup winner from next year is coming out of this race. So maybe fiery debut at a huge number will run better. Getting back to our first-time starter real quick, Colonel Tully, nice pedigree as well on the bottom. Half-brother to a stakes placed horse on turf and synthetic named Riding with Dino. And the Dam was a debut winner. And a couple of quick workouts, sandwiching a 5/8 drill. So I'm guessing Colonel Tully will be ready. And something tells me that the board will tell the tale.
Board will tell a lie. Yeah, this horse takes money early and it stays there. Certainly Colonel Tully will be very live, right? Kin to a debut winner, 5 winning siblings in that family.
8-5-9-2 for Keith, 8-3-9-2 for me in the 9th at Laurel Park on Friday. Best play time, where you heading?
A little bit of value, I'm hoping, in race number 4 with the Nest runner. Augustin Red, 5-1 on your morning line, third off the break. It's about a 32% strike rate with the dirt sprinters for Ness. I think there's enough flow in here. I think there's a chance to drop over and save some ground. Stalk and pounce kind of trip today for Augustine Red. Let's get that 5-1.
Of course, I want to key around in the multiple race wagers is in race number 4. That's the number 5 Bull Diversion, 5-2 on the morning line. You saw him chase a good one last time out, New King. Race flow, I don't think, was really in his favor that day. Gets a little bit more pace to attack today. 9 races on our program, 30 minutes to post for the opener. The main track is fast. We are off the turf. Callie Francois and Dave Rodman will take you through the 9-race card. And let's go up to the voice of Maryland Racing, Dave Rodman, for scratches and changes.
All right, good luck.